Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to my shack here in Northwest Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 116. I'd like to ask you to please hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button will help us find the channel on YouTube by folks who are interested in a hobby in ham radio. We like to teach folks some basic principles in layman's terms, so it's understandable by folks that don't know radio jargon and stuff like that. Clap, my goodness. Thumbs up already. Thanks. Happy Sunday. It's the 3rd of January, 2020. Today's going to be a fun show. Thank you very much for being here. Today's show, we got a topic question. It's going to be, what do you want your shack to have by 2025? What would you like to be in your shack? Radio, antenna outside, all that stuff. 4 years, 2025. What would you like there to be? Hi, Mind Swag. Happy Sunday to you. Same to you, Dennis, in Michigan. Thanks for being here, buddy. Always good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. All right. It is a Happy New Year, isn't it? My goodness. Happy New Year to everyone. The world is now at 2021 together, thankfully. So what do you want your shack to look like in 2025? One of the things that I think I'm most truly moved by doing this show is the people from all over the world that write. And I appreciate the emails. Thank you for those. They mean a lot to me. I'm not doing this to brag. That's not me. I'm saying it because it really humbles me. Questions like which radio and things like that they would like to buy and to get, opinions on them. Radios are real subjective. What do you want to do? Do you want to do HF plus VHF plus UHF, right? Some radios do that all in one box. Some require you to have different ones. What would you like your shack to look like in 2025? Some people might want an amplifier, maybe a directional antenna, perhaps something else. Let me know. Be interesting to know. Today's show is going to be pretty interactive, I hope. I've been looking all over. I've been trying to do this show forever so we can show you the MFJ 1708 SDR switch. I've had this, okay? I've had this forever. I couldn't find this forever, okay? That's what I couldn't find. The SDR Play RSP DX. I've been literally looking everywhere. My brother thankfully found it today. I knew HRO sent it, but it came right after we came back from MFJ and Tennessee and all that, and so there was boxes for Christmas and all that stuff on the floor. And somehow this little guy got lost. So now we can do the show on the MFJ 1708 and the SDR Play DX, which is kind of cool because you can put it with the 7300 or a radio that doesn't hook up directly to a monitor, and you can make it display the pen adapter screen, which is kind of cool. So let's take a look at your answers so far. The question today, again, topic question, should be fun. I want to do this on Sundays. We'll do a topic. It'd be fun. Be more interactive that way because the shows are live. Some people, most YouTube shows are all pre-produced, most of them, okay? I don't like to do pre-produced stuff. I've done it. It's okay. It looks slick, but I'd rather show people what ham radio is really like. Sometimes you make calls, sometimes you don't, okay? The way it works. But I also like to interact with all you folks from all over the world. It's an honor and privilege. So that's part of the joy that I get. So thanks for being here today. Let's look at your answers to today's topic question. Sean, east of the Cascade Mountains here in Oregon. My tower up and a hex beam on the air. That's great. Great place to be right there. That alone, Sean, is a huge advantage. I've always felt, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I've always felt, in contests, they have different classes, right? You have, 150 watts or 100 watts. Usually there'll be either one will be in the rules. So what class you're in? Maybe you're at 100 watts. Maybe you're QRP. Perhaps 100 watts means 150 in some of these. They change, and then you got high power, right? I have always felt they should have a directional beam category because it's such an advantage to have a directional beam. Sean, I love your answer. It's true. Tower up in the air and a hex beam. Man, a directional antenna just means a lot and makes a difference. Tom from Bahrain is here. Tom, hi, bud. Good to see you, my friend. Wow, what a joy. Cheers, Larry. I guess a Kenwood 890 would be good. Tom, hold on. Of course, it'd be the time that I moved it. Tom's talking about this. This is the Kenwood TS 890S. Beautiful radio. I love this radio. I want to own one someday. I hope maybe the Lord will bless me with one. I do. I think this is a beautiful radio. I've had a 590 SG. This is what Tom's talking about. This is the Kenwood TS890. I better just zoom this out so you can see it better because I'm zoomed in. There we go. Okay, so that's the the TS890S. That's something Tom would like. I love this radio. My favorite part is a goofy part, okay? I'll be honest. My favorite part about this radio is that you can kind of, change the meter, right? It's kind of it's a novelty, okay, but I like it. You press on this, and it changes from a white background with black and red to a background with white and red, and it looks like a real meter. Kenwood did a remarkable job on this radio. The dynamic range on this is excellent. It is a great radio, Tom. Boy, you and I both share that one. That would be good. NCT from Wisconsin. Hello, my friend. Good to see you today on Sunday. Happy Sunday, buddy. Like there to be a more competent operator in a 991A. That's great. Wouldn't we all? I think we all be more competent operators. I answered an email today. I can't remember if it was one to the Dominican or there was one in North Carolina too. I think it was North Carolina. Anyway, what I said was, and I believe this sincerely, we have so much in ham radio right now to choose from that's really eye candy. Look at what's happened since 2016 when the 7300 came out, right? Everything now almost is coming out like a touchscreen, bright, beautiful touchscreens, right? So they're really alluring to your eye, right? They look great. And things have changed, right? I mean, ham radio used to be, you basically just tuned and listened. Now we've got screens and touch screens that are beautiful and they just draw you right to the radio. So there was a comment made, and I think, gosh, it was Martin in the Netherlands. Growing old with his Alenco 77. I'll never forget that. That's a great comment because it's about a guy who kept his radio, didn't go to the bling thing, and just loved it, learned how to use it. See, that's the thing. You buy it, and then something else shinier comes out, and you kind of say, I'd kind of like that one too. If you can do it, try and get the radio, get to know it better, read the instructions, find out everything it can do, and be more competent. I think what NCT here says is actually brilliant for all of us. Be more competent. And a 991A. It's great. Jack in the box. But to be more competent, and part of that is really learning the radio you have, going through the menus, learning what everything does, how it adjusts everything. That's brilliant, because radios all have their strengths. Dennis, by then, might be doing CW through a Google Assistant. Hi. Yeah, could be. Could you imagine Google? What's it saying? It says, stop using Google. Sorry. That would be me. Dennis, that'd be me. I swear to you. That'd be me. Steve's here from the Plymouth area of the UK. Steve, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. What a joy. My goodness. You'll be happy to know I have supported your country in two ways. I have two antennas. I have the DX Commander all-band vertical, and I also have a Wellbrook ALA 1530 LN coming for my receive. So I'm a big proponent of using a loop for your RX on ham radios. They just work better. They do. They work better than a dipole or than a vertical. They do. You'll hear a lot less noise, and looking forward to getting that. Now I got to find a good rotator and go through all that again. Anyway, I've got it for the directional antenna, but I don't want to use that one because that one's more for heavy duty, antennas. A Wellbrook loop isn't that big, so it doesn't have to be that stout. So yeah, that's good. I like that. That's good. Good to see you, Steve. Greg, hey buddy. Kilo Fox 0, Charlie Union Zulu. Thanks for the show the other day. Oh, you're welcome, man. Doing lots of studying, scoring in the 80s and practice exams, so I'm looking forward to taking the general. Good, you're ready. Now, here's how it worked for me, Greg, and maybe it'll be different for you, but what I started doing is when I started scoring in the 80s, right, I would try and do, this is no lie, I was really very strong to do this. And here's how I did this. No jokes. This is a good one, Greg. How I did this, and it may be different for you. I would take the test 10 times. Unless I average 90% or better, I would take a break. I'd watch a YouTube show. I really would. I'd watch something on YouTube about ham radio. And it would clear my mind for a moment. It would allow me to kind of, decompress a little bit. Then I'd go back and I'd take 5 more. I know it sounds weird, but that's just me. I would keep drilling it home and then I would get it. But then what I found was once I got my license, I learned 10 times more than the test could ever teach me. And I mean, it was good. I used ham radio test online. I think it's what I used. And it was good. I mean, it had practical stuff. When you didn't get something right or you were struggling with a certain area, it was smart enough to know that you were struggling there. So it would try and drill home those points. Very good software. It's good. I don't get a dime for saying that. I'm just telling you. It worked well for me. My father-in-law didn't like that program so well. Sorry, my back is killing me today. But I really wanted to do this show. Because I got a great email again from the Dominican Republic. There's a gentleman there. I don't want to call him by name because I don't want to embarrass him if he doesn't want to be called by name. He's a wonderful guy, and he's struggling with the FTDX 10 or the 7300. Now, I had one comment. It made me laugh, actually. It was funny. Some guy said, pretty funny show for a guy that doesn't have an FTDX 10. Okay, there's your 5 seconds of nothing. I had a 101 MP, much better radio. And I can tell you, when you get receiver numbers that close, you've got enough experience to say. So, in all honesty, the FTDX 10, pretty strong receiver. But again, it's going to come down in price. So what I said to this gentleman in the Dominican Republic was, okay, what can you purchase extra for that $700 difference if you want a radio now, if you can't wait until the price drops? And it will in 12 months. The price is going to come down. Look what you can get. I mean, you can buy, like, for example, a nice Gap Titan DX vertical antenna, right? I know they've been around a while, but they're solid and they're strong and they're resonant. You could buy a DX Commander. You could buy the Nebula or the Classic. You could buy the high gain AV 680 vertical, have a really good vertical antenna plus good feed line and the radio, okay, for that $700 in difference. Yeah, so it's tough. And again, it's a real personal decision. My whole knowledge here is I can tell you for sure the ICOM has a punchier screen and a better screen. Bob Nagy, AB5N, who does shows on YouTube as well, said the exact same thing because we've both had both radios. The ICOM has a punchier screen. It does. That's not saying that the ASU is bad, just means the ICOM stands out more, okay? But, I mean, the price, as with all new radios, will come down. Patience always pays. Look at this. Wow, got lots of folks. Nuno's here. Hi, buddy. Good to see you, Nuno. Happy Sunday to you, pal. Howdy do. Says, I'm a Kenwood guy, so I'd love to have a TL922 to work with my lovely Oh, look at this. Hold on. Nuno, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. Nuno, he's got a TS950 SDX. Nice. Happy New Year to everyone from Portugal. Charlie Sierra 7, Alpha India Kilo. Nuno, thanks for being here from Portugal. Yeah, that's a great radio right there. Yeah, he'd love to have a TL922 to work with that 950. I could see why you'd want that. That's a nice mix. Good thing. I'm going to way too bright here. Sorry. Much better now. Last show was at night. Sorry. Eric, good afternoon, buddy. Hey, Eric just got Alaska yesterday. Nice call. That's a nice call. Lee Rosselli is here. Welcome, Lee. Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo November Bravo. Hi, Lee. He says, I find every time I change radios, my brain gets a good workout trying to master all the stuff it does. Look at this. He's right. He's right. And he says, trying to master all the features the new radio has. This is particularly good for those of us who are retired. It is. How many of you read the instructions? Truly. Really? How many of you dive into the instructions? Some of them can be 200 pages long, right? 200 pages, I'm on page 114. I'm learning about it talks about the rear connection on the third receiver. There's so much radios do today, and Lee brings up a great point. To know exactly the power of your radio is great in itself because you can learn all the value that you paid all that money for. I like what Lee says here. He's right. He's right. Gives his brain a good workout. And he's right. Good work, Lee. That's good. Mark, Kilo India 5, Mike Oscar from the great state of Texas. He said, first things first, a shack. Hopefully that'll get done first quarter of this year. He's in the northeast part of the great Lone Star State. Mark, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Thank you very much. All right. So we have some folks here with some great opinions. What's yours? What do you want your shack to look like by 2025? Antenna, radio, maybe an amplifier, things like that. Be pretty cool. And yes, here it is. This is the point I've been waiting for right here, because I said this in an email today too. Lee, right on. Thank you for saying it. You're right. Look what he says. And he's brilliantly right. I said the same exact thing earlier today to a ham in the Dominican Republic. I said the average ham will not be able to hear the difference between an IC7300 and, in my case, I said the FTDX10. They won't. They won't. Now, high-level DXers and contesters, yes, because they have trained ears to really tune in and find out the differences, especially in IMD. Yeah, when you get two signals close together, let's say you got a couple 5.9s, and you got an S4 in the middle, right? You got a lot of competition for that S4. They want a radio that's going to be able to squeeze away those S9s and bring in that S4. So think about it. Yeah, that's important. But for the most part, most ham radio operators will never notice that minuscule of a difference. That's why I've said all along, and it was such a polarizing video, which is humorous to me, about the 7300. People saying, that just lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, man, oh man, I knew it would be polarizing, but I think the 7300 is a fine radio. I do. Price-wise, under $1,000. What it does the same thing that every HF radio does with one antenna input. You know that? That would be the FTX10 and the 101 and the 991A. But the 991A has a VHF, UHF input. I know. But I'm saying for HF ins. It's a one input, right? 7100 has the same thing. It's got the HF, VHF, and then UHF on the other side. Okay, so the HF over here, UHF, VHF over here. Okay, get it, Shack in the box. But are you really going to notice? I mean, you guys know. Find the radio you love, hold on to it. But what would you build from there, okay? Everyone's got a dream radio, right? You got a dream rig you want. What about power? Do you want an amplifier? What about an antenna? If money was no object, right? You won the lottery, right? You can put yourself up a tower, pay off all your neighbors and make sure they're happy. So don't freak out about some 70-foot structure going in the backyard. Can you imagine? What is that? Oh, just building a giant cell phone tower in the backyard. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Your reception on your phone will be so much better. Of course it will. No. Okay. Sorry. So I like Lee's point. Do you really think we mere mortals, I love how he put that, can hear the difference in dynamic range of 107 versus 97 on the 7300? No, probably not. Probably not. Good point. Yeah. Hi, Detroit. I love that call sign still. Mark, good to see you. Kilo Delta 4, Frank Lima Yankee. That is KD4 Fly. That's one of the sweetest call signs ever. Wow. Any time frame of testing the Hess beam, still waiting on parts. Yeah, like everything, man. Ham radio right now is so slow on manufacturing, and it's not the manufacturer's fault. Meaning, say in this case, MFJ, because it's an MFJ antenna. It's not their fault. It's the people that produce the product that they're waiting on. That's why I'm still here. Eric, that's why I've got a hole here and there's a 7300 in place because the K4 isn't done yet. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting for the K4. I'm dreaming of a K4. Anyway, it'll be here and we're just waiting for parts because what's happened for them is a lot of the parts are made in California. Eric. And so what they do is so many parts are made there locally. And because the factories who make those parts, like silicon chips and transistors and stuff like that, are working on such small shifts because of social distancing, they can't get those parts out really fast. That's the problem. So what happens is Elecraft doesn't get the parts in, quick numbers so they can send the radios out. That's the problem. And it's not just Elecraft. Flex Radio's got an 8-week window now if you want to buy any of their radios or their Maestro, okay? Unless you want a pre-loved. If they have one in stock, they can get to you quick. But if you want to buy a new one, that's about an 8-week wait. It's because of manufacturing. It's slowed everything down. Great comments today, guys. Love it. Love it. Let's see. Let's give back up thing. So on Eric, on that, no. Got to wait for the parts. Still waiting for the initial spreaders to come back. Yeah, good question. Sean, nope, that's why I saved some money and got to say, yeah. And you know what, Sean, I'll tell you what's funny. That's exactly the thing I posed to the gentleman in Dominican. Same thing. I said, how much more can you do with $700 if you can't wait? I mean, if you need to buy a radio now, okay, think of what you can buy for $700. A lot. You really could. Yeah. Lee says one coax input radios, not that big a deal because that's why they sell coax switches. He's right. Yep. 100%. Got two of them here, and it makes a difference. So if you only got one antenna in, right, and you want to see for new hams, for people who are getting into ham radio, if the radio's only got one antenna input on the back of it, like, okay, on the 7300, it's only got one. But if you buy yourself like a switch, like a 2 or a 4 position switch, you can get 6, okay? You can change between 6 antennas and just at the click of a switch. That's all you got to do. Simple. It's a great solution for radios that have only one antenna. Good point, Lee. Well done. That tune you just played, I recognize Simon Miller. Actually, I don't know what it is. I just know it's royalty free. Have to be careful. Richard, welcome to the show. Richard, I think it's the first time I've seen you here. Thanks for being here, man. He says his call sign Kilo Mike 4 Zulu X-Ray Victor using an FT991 Alpha. And what I love here, he says Shack by 2025 a good hex beam or a cobweb multiband. Yeah, that's the way to go. Get that directional up. And Richard, you'll be golden. It's going to make such a difference. I mean, I tell people here, and just my opinion, you can do what you'd like with it. That and $4 will get you a Starbucks fancy coffee. Amplifier or directional beam, buy the directional beam. Just buy the beam. It's going to be more work, but you're going to get so much more out of it. A directional beam makes a big, big difference. Eric says, just wondering, I want a beam and some power. That's good. Yeah, that's the perfect combo. But start with the beam. The beam is the way to go. Yeah, because you get gain not only in transmit, but receive as well. You hear better with the directional beam because it pulls in signals from only one area and nulls out the signals from around you. Now, the reason I brought the Wellbrook loop here for receive is for when I'm using the vertical. Okay, if I'm using one of the verticals here, I'll run receive off the Wellbrook because I'll hear better. I can knock the noise down that comes from all the way around the vertical, okay, that I have, the two verticals, and receive so much better. Just tune to the null and you'll hear signals. Just makes it work better. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hi, Lewis. Welcome to the show. Welcome. First time I've seen you too. Lewis, nice to have you here. 7300 menu usability is key. Very intuitive. He's Whiskey Alpha 3, Kilo Bravo. Great call sign, by the way. It is intuitive. Yeah, when you use the 7300, one thing that's pretty easy about using it is the menus. You simply strike the menu button and you've got your full choice of everything you want to do right in the front. Simple. Touch your touch screen. Changes your menus. If you want to go see your scope, you just hit the scope button. There's a large waterfall. Okay. If you want to make the waterfall field look better, just click the reference, tune it, and see what happens to the waterfall. It starts to disappear. Start losing all that blue when you start just seeing signals. The best way to do it is to tune it up, tune your reference level up so you can see the little guys. That's the main thing. See the little signals, but don't make it so cluttered that you end up with literally a screen that just has a lot of fall on it, because otherwise you won't find those signals. Hey, good point. Yeah, Good point. It does have a very intuitive menu. I would agree with you there, no question. Mark, 2025, a new 2024 radio. That's brilliant. That's brilliant, Mark. And it's, I get it. Yeah, because that's what we do. I mean, right? The shiny object thing. I still love the 890. I think it's just a brilliant radio. I do. So the 890 is great. I think that I love the K4. I'm excited for it because Elecraft plans their products to go about 7 to 8 years. Okay. So it's going to upgrade via firmware. So it makes it better. You don't have to go out and buy a new radio. They focus all their engineering on that radio they sold to make it better for the next 7 or 8 years. That's just what they did. I think the K3, what it go? It went from 2008 to 20. And I know the K3S came out. I know. And just putting the synth boards in a K3 doesn't make it a K3S, but pretty close. You wouldn't notice much of a difference there. So, Mark, that's a nice comment. It's true. It's true. I mean, we could have radios by 2024 that pretty much do everything for you. Talk RIDI, talk CW. You can imagine, right? You're getting the CW thing coming in, signals coming in, and the radio's talking to you. Don't be surprised if that doesn't come out soon. Think about it. You're hearing, I am fine, cold here, 4 degrees Celsius. With a speech processor, it'll probably come. And that's how fast things are accelerating now. So yeah, you definitely see that. Alex says, so coax switches turn single cable radios into multiple inputs. Yes, they do. Yeah. All you do is you simply take a switch, run it, make sure the power is right. If you're going to think of running an amplifier, make sure that the switch can handle the power. That's one thing really important, Alex. But yeah, that's good. It'll work. So if you want to do that, you could do it. Again, we're just today's going to be a talk show. We're just going to talk about ham radio together. Today's topic question is, what do you want your shack to have by 2025? Radio, antenna, maybe an amplifier. What kind of an amplifier? Would you like a tuner? What kind of an antenna? All right. A few more minutes left in the show. We'll see how we do. So yeah, some great comments here. My favorite so far, there's tons of them that have been really good. I love this. Let me find it because I really, really like it. Where is it here? Right here, Lee Rosselli. Love that one. This is a great comment. Do you think we mere mortals can hear the difference in dynamic range of 107 dB FTDX10 versus 97 dB in the 7300? Yeah. Good point. And NCT, as my Elmer said, do your research now, buy top of what you can afford, and be happy with it for the rest of your time in the hobby. That's one of the things I love about when we had the comment here, gosh, it's been 2 or 3 weeks ago now, from Martin, that's in the Netherlands. Said, growing old with his Alinco 77. That's a 1996 radio. He's happy. That's all that matters. Find the radio you'll be happy with, because you'll have it and you want to spend the money for it, right? So you spend all that money, get your money's worth. That's the main thing. Get your money's worth. And know if it's a new radio, okay? And this is really important. If it's a new radio, be patient. Don't be the first one on your city to have one. You don't have to be the first one, because you're going to pay up for it. Prices come down, okay? I can say, for all assuredness, when the 101 MP first dropped, it was almost $5,000, okay? Then it came down. I think I bought it $4,450. That's where I bought it. Now it's down to $4,050. The FTDX 10 is going to do the same thing, $1,699 now. Gigaparts had it day after Christmas at $1,525. That price has since come back up to $1,699. Watch your prices. If you're really looking for a radio, just every day, make a quick search on your favorite search engine on the radio you're searching for, right? And you're going to find a flash sale. You might be surprised. And it might be like 45 straight days of checking prices. And all of a sudden, bingo, there it is. And you're like, yes, that's it. But I think within 10 to 12 months, the FTDX 10 is going to be under 1,500. I do. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So, all right. Alan's here. Alpha Bravo 8, Alpha Sierra. Always great to see Alan. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. Yep. Glad to see you. So let's see if we can just make a quick few calls, real quick, on the 7300. I'm going to put the K3 here shortly, but before I do that, I do want to do the show for the MFJ 1708. Now that my brother's found the SDR play, we can make the show work because these two pieces need to work together to make this work. And it'll help the 7300 to be shown onto a monitor. That's really the point. But the cool thing is you get an extra receiver with it. The SDR Play DX is a lot more sensitive for HF bands, and it'll help you pull in the weak signals. Should be a lot of fun to use it, and we'll show how it works. So let's see what we got here on 20.
4-4 into West Texas today. Hope you're having a good time out there on the West Coast. Over.
So it's a Texas station, and we're here in Oregon. This should be about a 1,500, at least 1,500 mile away QSO.
Roger, my mistake. I thought you were a different station. Oh, enjoy your time in Pennsylvania. Stay on, my friend. 17.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. Oof, getting mashed to QRM. Kevin, I think you said your name was Kevin. Is that correct? My name is Larry, Lima Alpha Romeo Romeo Yankee. My QTH is Independence, Oregon. I do a show called Ham Radio Live that you're live on right now, streaming on YouTube, and we're pleased to have you on. What's your call sign? Over. Buddy, you're getting hammered with QR Mary, not QR Nancy, from somebody who's literally about 1 KC down. Could you come again with your call sign 3 times slow? Sorry about that. I got a Kilo Bravo, and you're just getting nailed. I just don't understand what's going on here. If you'd like to try again, I'd be happy to work with you. I know you're trying to run some calls, so I don't want to bug you either, though. That's tough. All right, my friend, I'm so sorry, my friend. I can't pull you in. It's just the conditions here just going to move. I'm going to have to go QSY. Please forgive me. I don't like doing that to anybody. It's just the signal's fading too much, and you've got some QR Mary. Kilo 7 Hotel November. We'll go QSY. Watch him come in. Oh, yeah, we'll just move. Okay, so we're going to be at 14,327 and hopefully make a good call or two just to say hi. All right, let's try it, 14,327. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. So 14,327, again, signals, they're not bad on 20. They're not bad. They're just, we had too many people close together there. POTA there? Gotcha, okay. CQ on 20, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. We're live on YouTube's Ham Radio Live, calling CQ to any station, anywhere. Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ and listening. Couple of comments here. Lee, one thing he's found over the years is a ham is not to be loyal to a brand. It's a good point. There are so many good radios made by every company. It's best to look at everything on the market when changing. He's right. He's right. One of these days I'll get you on the 6-meter log. That'd be fun. Could hear the other station, but we must be too close. Gotcha, Fred. You're right. That happens. We get in the skip zone. We'll make a couple more calls, see if we can make it work. In fact, instead, because CQ calls can always be iffy. I don't like doing them so much because, quite honestly, the problem is that when you're doing CQ calls, you got to count on someone looking for it. Okay, so let's find a signal because we should be able to make the call. And so here's a good example of two calls very close. Look how close these are. Look at that. Here's one. Here's the other. Wow. Another one right here. Very good signal. That's very strong. Probably at 78.
Nice contact, Kilo 7 Alpha X-ray Alpha. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. This station with a QRP, come again, over.
Okay. We'll see what we got. Might be DX. We'll see. It sounds like an Italy station. 14277.
Whiskey Lima. Good afternoon. Likewise, you're coming here 5 by 7. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. Go ahead.
Okay, so we got some DX. We'll see if we can make the call real quick, and we'll end the show. More comments, please. Again, today's question is, what do you want your ham shack to have by 2025?
Kilo 6 Whiskey Lima. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. Yeah, right now your signal is increasing a bit. You're about 5.9 now. 5.9 over.
Now is not the time to pop in with your call sign for young hams. Wait. Just be patient and wait. Wait till he says QRZ. That means it's the end of the conversation. This call will be from Venezuela. So let's see what we come up with. Maybe make the jump.
Okay, good afternoon. Likewise to you in 73 Kilo 6 Whiskey Lima.
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
November 3 Tango Charlie. November 3 Tango Charlie. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. Good afternoon to you. You're coming at 5.9 over.
Okay, so Venezuela. And we'll see if we can make the call. This is DX.
November 3 Tango Charlie. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. Yeah, Tom. The name is Dennis. And,
Okay, he's in Whitehorse, Canada. Sorry. He is in Whitehorse, Canada. He is not in in Venezuela. Interesting. Of course. I told you I'm dyslexic before, and here's a good example of it. Okay. My fault. When you have a YV is from Venezuela. VY, of course, Canada. I'm thinking the opposite. Of course, Victor Echo also is one of them, but there is a VY for Canada. He's out of Whitehorse. Just a moment. We'll see if we can make the call just to say hello. Since we're here, we might as well be friends, right?
Okay, Tom, good afternoon to you. Likewise, 73. Yeah, your signal right now is 5 dB over S9. Okay, 73, and good afternoon, November 3 Tango Charlie. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango, all clear.
Kilo 7 Hotel November, Oregon.
The station with the Sierra, come again. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango, over.
Again, this is a time when you just be patient.
The station with the call sign ending Sierra. The station with the call sign ending Sierra, come again. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango, over.
It's got a nice signal.
Yeah, the station from San Jose. The station from San Jose, come again. With your call
Greg,
sign.
you're
This is
welcome.
Victor
You're
Yankee.
very welcome. Thanks for sending me the email, man. Thank you. It's an honor to help you. I think you've got a great opportunity. You're on the 4th floor, buddy. That's height. That's height.
Okay, Kilo Delta 6, November Hotel Sierra. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. You're 5'9". You're 5'9", over.
We'll see if we make the call to this guy, and then we'll call it a show. We'll wrap it in a bow and call it a show. Hang on. We'll go through your comments before we close the show, okay? We'll see if we can make this one call. It is to Canada, but we'll see how it goes.
You're 5'9" here in Whitehorse, Yukon. In Whitehorse, Yukon.
So he's up in the
Kilo
Yukon.
Delta 6, November Hotel Sierra. Go ahead. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango.
It's got a nice signal, no question. This call from me, if we can make it, okay, now, again, I think he's got me wrong. Oh, nope, never mind. This would be 1,198 miles, so not a great distance, not huge. Let's see. Kilo 7 Hotel November, Oregon.
I didn't get most of your call sign. Kilo Juliet 7, is that Victor Victor? Is that Kilo Juliet 7 Victor Victor from Oregon? This is
See,
Victor Yankee
that's why I
1
said
Tango
Oregon.
Tango.
Negative. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilowatt 7 Honduras, Norway. QSL?
Okay, Kilo 7 Honduras, Norway. Kilo 7 Hotel Nancy. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. You're 5'9", over.
QSL 59+5 here into Oregon. Name is Larry. You're on YouTube's Ham Radio Live. Thanks for making the call, Dennis. I'll give you 73 and wait for your final. Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Happy New Year and God bless you.
Okay, Larry, good afternoon to you. Likewise, and 73 is nice contact. Kilo 7 Hotel Nancy. This is Victor Yankee 1 Tango Tango. All clear.
There you go. All right. So there's a call to the Yukon of Canada. Nice call. That's a nice call. And, you know, it's 7300. So I remember before we had our good friend, and I mean, I love this guy. He is in Massachusetts. And he wondered about the quality of the 7300. Gunter from Wiesbaden here on the channel uses one all the time, works cross-country, cross-continent. He is amazing with it. So, yeah, I think I agree with Lee. You know, when you're talking numbers that are that close in dynamic range, don't let it bug you. It really comes down to minutia. Use the radio you love. That's really the whole point here, okay? Find the radio you fall in love with, but grow old with it. Grow old with it, because there's always going to be another shiny object in the store. Does that make sense? I hope so. You're always going to find another shiny object at the ham radio store that looks really cool and has the bling. But if you find the radio that has the operating system you're comfortable with, the look you like, because let's face it, looks sell radios. That's why Yaesu's making rigs that look a lot different than they did 5 years ago, and why ICOM completely flipped, right? Find the one you like, but then keep it, hold on to it, and get the value out of it, use it. You do it that way, you're going to be a great ham radio operator. And, like what Lee said, is try not to be brand loyal, but he also says something real interesting here. And I think it's really important. Do you think we mere mortals can hear the difference between dynamic range of 107 dB versus 97? It's 10 decibels. Seems like it would be a lot, but you'd have both radios side by side using the same antenna. You're probably going to be just as happy with either radio. They will hear the same signal. They really will. Find the radio you love. Hold on to it. Try not to be, brand loyal. I mean, look at me. I've got an ICOM. I've got a Yaesu. I have an Elecraft sitting here under the pillowcase. I just, and I'm probably going to be selling a couple of radios here because it's too many for me. I'm just not used to having a lot of radios. I don't use all of them. I'll keep a super het and I'll have an SDR. Okay. Now, when the K4 arrives, I hope to put the HD module in so I can have an HD, a hybrid or direct sampling SDR. But I still want that super het because I grew up with them. I love super hets. Super hets are cool. They're really cool and they're familiar to us. And I still want the 890. This is one of those things. So there you go. Who said the 890 again? I want to take a look up the screen because it was Tom in Bahrain. Yeah, 890. I love it too, man. All right, that's it for Ham Radio Live. We'll tie a bow and let her go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ham Radio Live is not sponsored by anybody. We don't do even any ads on this channel. It's designed to be listened to from front to end without one single skip ad in between. We just ask you to subscribe. That's all. I think today we'll be honored to hit 1,000 subscribers. To me, that's a milestone I never, ever expected. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that happening. You have really made something impossible in my mind to understand to happen because it's a pleasure to talk to all of you. Fred, good comment before we close. Been trying to get proficient in pulling out weak signals or signals in bad conditions. I boost the contour at 200 hertz. And I was using a Yaesu, okay? Use the attenuator. Let me get him back up. Use the attenuator on the DNR FT991. Okay, does that sound right? Yeah, the contour I think is a little high. I think I used my contour on my Yaesus right about 1600. I think maybe 2000 might be a bit high. That's just my ears though, okay? 1600 is where I was at. If you really want to hear well, and let me just throw this out, Fred, okay? Because he's trying to pull out weak signals. For the K4, I wanted to go one step further, okay? Because I've got vertical antennas. I've got a directional that we're trying to finish, but waiting on parts for again. But the point is, I want to hear better. So for me, the vertical doesn't work well because they hear everything. So that's why we're getting the Wellbrook ALA 1530 LN, because I want a good loop receive antenna because they're brilliant at listening. You can hear really well. You just tune to the null. Once you get the null in on a receive loop, you'll hear brilliantly and your noise floor just goes straight down. It's amazing. If you'd like to get better at receive, I would suggest you do that. Seriously. MFJ has the 1888 receive only, which is a great buy at its current price, or the Wellbrook's expensive. It's almost $400, but it's gold standard. It's well known for people who are really proficient DXers. Yeah, use it on your RX only. Don't transmit into it. You'll blow it up. You'll blow any receive loop. You'll blow it up. But man, what a difference. If you'd like to learn, folks, if you'd like to really see what one of these loops can do, there's a guy here on YouTube. It's an older video. I think he uses an FT2000. So, Fred, I think it's what you got. No, you got 991. Okay. So he uses a Yaesu FT2000. Okay. You can see it. He's got the DMU, so you can see it drop. Take a look at it. Wellbrook, I think it's called the Wellbrook. He uses Wellbrook AL 1500. Look at his video. You'll see what I'm talking about and why you should be using a loop on the RX side. It will make all the difference in the world for your receive. Good call. Okay, 73s. Good night from Bahrain. Good night from Smokey, from Fred, from Eric. Ishmael, what a treat to see you. Juliet 7-2. India, Mike Sierra, all the way from Japan. What a joy. Ishmael, we're going to make that call. Absolutely. Fred, you're welcome. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live, and thank you for being great people. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.